Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
This is what makes all of us come to the Mombasa, and this is a place that we come to just to walk in the beach and to enjoy ourselves and to feel the sand, something that we rarely get to have, and experience the sand and the coconut trees, and it's amazing. We have just encountered the sea, and this is one of the greatest destinations in the world, and if you would like to come just do photography, Coast Province has not always been this calm. It had not always been a destination for tourism. It was one of the places that great atrocities were committed. It was here where many said their last goodbye and never returned. Many were taken into Zanzibar and later on they were leaded into slavery, but at one point they were saved and they live here among us in Fria. Fria town is said to be one of the oldest towns in the country. It is one of the places that has the most educated people, and we celebrate a cultural diversity. It is said that the people of the Fria town are from various places, name it, various places in the world. Some are Kambas, some are from Nyasaland, and some are from Tanzania. The diversity in Fria town is so wide that it does not leave room for people to hold a past cultural identity. It is said that the people here have to get an ID and identify with the locals here, but the main quest is to search and to see the possibilities of having an identity card that is called the Fria people, because the diversity right here says a lot of things. We're right now at the Fria town trying to gather stories about the history and the present of Fria town. It is an amazing town, one of the places with great historical privilege, and one of the great destinations in the history of Coast Province, and not only Coast Province but in the country as well as the world at large. We're walking on this road, which is son of the cow in Giriama, which means son of the cow. And this is a very integrated culture and very international. Thank you.
So do re mi fa so do re do ti do.
Who tells us the stories of all that happened and the things and how life was before then, during that time when they lived at Fria, and what they were told by their parents.
Chachi kwa hivi mbele walikuwa ni kambi
pale kwenye kengele sasa.
Pale kwenye kengele sasa.
Lakini badala kanisani kwa hiyo. Pale kuna kengele. Salamu. Walikuwa ndio hapo kumpea. Ilikuja wakati ikifika kama saa 2 waambiwa zima taa. Usiku tuko Fria kule. Ikifika saa 2 marahaba. Hakuna ruhusa ya kuonekana taa.
Kulikuwa kuna nini hivyo tu,
kulikuwa na vita mamkea, wale walikuwa si watu wa hapa, walikuwa na kabila yao watu inaitwa Magorogosi. Sio kabila gani? Magorogosi hapa. Watisha hapa. Sio hapa.
Watoka nje.
Na mameli si? Si tulikuwa tukiona kambini pale.
Ama ni wa
ambao walinda. Manake nasikia walikuwa wakija hao nino, ulikuwa kukuja kama watu, tulikuwa tukielezewa na kina mama asema zamani basi kama hivyo kukija amri ya kuwa watu wasitoke nje usiku, watu wakitoka, watu wasosikia kama hivyo, mtu antoka wakiingiliwa, watoto wadogo kama hawa wauliwa. Kiambo hivi vifo vya kufulia nazi, si watu wapenda kuweka nje hivi. Nasikia mtoto utakuta kufuta hapa. Watu walipata shida sana wakati wa vita vya Uingereza sijui na nini. Lakini sisi hatukuviona. Sisi tukiwaona
stories of everything, she finally tells us where they are from. Who are they? Where are they from in this whole part of Africa?
Kwa hivyo nyinyi mlichanganya watu wa Tanzania na Malawi.
Na sasa
kama
watu
sisi
wanajuaje?
babu yetu za baba yetu.
Babu sasa
ni Mnyasa. Jana yetu ni Wangindo.
Wangindo ni wapi?
Wanyasa. Lakini ni Wangindo. Watu kwao ni Dar es Salaam wa Wangindo.
They are also found in another part of the Coast Province, that is in Ribe and Rabai. Wewe ni full.
Ni peke yangu ambayo damu ya Kinyasa.
Full kabisa.
Kabisa, maana babu na babu walisema sisi watoto wetu hawa tutawaoza, hatutaki kuwaolewa na Wanyika.
Because they were brought to the church. Many of the freed slaves were released and brought to the church, where they came and sought shelter and comfort, and this became their home. All they had to do is become Christians and make sure they remain that.
Sasa wakataka kuwachukua, ndio hapo walipowachukua wakawa sasa wanawafundisha dini hii ya lazima. Maana hapo ilikuwa ni lazima. Hata sisi tukianza kuenukie, ukikosa Sunday school, uenda chapa asubuhi Jumatatu utasikia. Afadhali nilienda Sunday school. Hiyo Sunday school pia ilikuwa ya lazima. Jumapili nyinyi msioenda Sunday school muende kanisani. Kama hukwenda mkipika tu, mkimaliza parade silikuwa mnaangalia usafi
na walimu ama
na walimu
wajua kanisani na walimu hawakosi kupika.
Sasa wakumbe wakija kanisani wanaangalia watoto wapoje, wengine wanaenda Sunday school wanaangalia. Sasa watu kikataa ambao mimi jana sikukuona kanisani.
Walimu wazungu ama Waafrika?
Waafrika
pia walikuwa wamekuwa hivyo.
walimu
walikuwa wamekuwa wahubiriji na nyingi.
Sasa mtajapwa. Hata useme afadhali nimeenda. Kulikuwa hakuna adhabu nyingine, ni kuchapwa.
Ni kuchapwa.
Sasa waweza kupwa adhabu kaambia kafike pale uwanjani ushinde hapo, lakini hata hufike wafanya hivi. Kisha sisi wazazi tuwasema watoto wetu onea. Lakini wakati wetu
The 1887 is the time when the Christian missionaries decided and came and lived here. Then later on it became a home to many people who were seeking refuge right here, all over from the world, who were earlier on slave trade had been very prominent because of the Arabs who were taking Africans, but the missionaries came and stopped. And this is the church that was seen to be one that was a place of refuge, where people from all over Central and East Africa came and were established themselves here. This has been standing since 1887, and this is the building as it were. These are the chairs as they were. It is said that the people, the Bombay-born people who were freed slaves and were settled in India, the Bombay-born Christians and Africans lived there, and they are the ones that made this church and they made this form, and today it's still standing as one of the earliest churches in East Africa, actually the #1 church in the whole of East Africa. This church, ACK, from 1887
Stories
until
and tales
today.
have been documented and preserved at the museum.
I'm seated at the museum, at the Rabai Museum, where all the historical evidence of what happened in the 18th and 19th century is available. We have the culture, on that other side we have the culture of the Rabai, which explains the people here and the Kayas and their lifestyle and everything. but more so it has the historical tale of the slave trade and the account of the release from the hands of the traders who had captured these slaves. But I'm seated here, and I represent freedom of Africans, the ability to be able to just walk around anywhere and just be free and not be taken as goods or anything. So this was the place. Outside here is where they lived, the community lived, and somewhere along this road and along this in this land is where the people live, and the people were given land. It was an incredible time to just come and be here, because here it meant that they were free and no one could disturb them. They settled among the community. The only thing that they had to be is to become Christians. And over years they have become faithful Christians, and they became the teachers. They became over 2,000 converts at that particular time. And they became the teachers, they became the engineers. This particular place shows all the evidence of these happenings, and it has been a great honor to just visit and to see exactly what it was about.
At the museum, but the emotions, the feelings, and the sentiments of the people can only be told by the children of those slaves.
Wanyika.
Wanyika.
Hawa waitwa watumwa.
Wale waliokuja wakaitwa watumwa kwa kuwa wametoka utumwani. Wale sasa hawa watumwa wakawaita wenyeji Wanyika.
Na wenyeji walikuwa Wanga.
Ni wenyeji, sio hawa waliokuja.
Mzungu akiamka yuko jaani.
Simsikia kama vile
walikuwa hivyo.
Wanyika.
Wametuletea wisho wa watu. Wametuletea wisho wa watu. Wamala kuhuka. Sio. Na hadi wameyuza wenyewe kwa sukari, mablanketi.
Wambocha wa namna gani? Kama ulikuwa kwa hiyo ndio
wote tofauti tu. Sema akiamka yuko jani. Ashikwa na homa asubuhi, wenyewe wanadawa kama nini. Hata afiki saa ngapi aisha kwa babangu mimi mzazi. Nilipozaliwa mimi nilimtongea baba aka
wa kwanza mwanamke.
Aliambiwa hivi kwa hivyo yua vimba nyumba. Hai maliza nyumba. Kumbe mwataka kuwa maliza walibe nyinyi. Unza mume. Hivi basi uanza kukundua wake. Upesi. Hii mwavyasi tumakita. Mwavyala hele tungu.
The story changes with the people that were brought into Freetown, as where the home was built, where the church was built, was a forest before, and so when they came, they did not have to live among villagers.
Freetown is not a slave. People are free, people are welcome. People are living united. People are Christian, most of them are Christians, and we are serving the living God. We have decided to come up together as Christians and build Christianity, and what we are really doing is unity.
We are now in Freetown. It was an old town, but now it's a modern town. Yeah, we agree that the missionaries came and made something for us. They said it was a strange thing, but now they have come to agree that it was a real thing. There are religions, there's education, there's modern houses, there's everything that people think that is modern today. So we are grateful for how Freetown it is now.
And though the people of Freer have come here, intermarried, and mixed with other communities, they have become people among here, they still remember some of the things that they did hold as cultural values.
Ilikuwa urembo, lakini ukiwa umeolewa basi ukienda kwa mumeo, mwanamume ankasirika, yani usiseme. Usiseme mpaka mwanamume ukimwona sasa
hasira ndio akivua.
ameisha hasira
Ndio
ndio wafungua wasema naye. Hata kama amekuudhi akupiga au ujivwe hivi husemi wala hudii. Amri 10.
Though many of the stories have been lost in these buildings, they have been lost in the walls and not to be remembered. Many of the documentation have been lost and cannot be traced back. A lot of the stories are going to be wasted if the story is not told. Many are just but historical monuments with no words to them. Many are just buildings, many are just positions that have nothing to say. Many are just statues, and the words are lost by those who die.
We're now standing at the bell tower, which was one of the very historical monuments, one of the places where the people used to, and it was a very functional bell. The people of Fria would hear the bell maybe, it would have different sounds. Sometimes when it's time to go to church, it would have a different sound. When it's time to go to school, it would have a different sound. And when it was time to alert people for security purposes, when sometimes the Arabs were coming, it also had a different kind of sound. Today it is a historical monument that has been stored right here, and there's one also at the museums and at the archives to preserve history. The sad part about it is even down at the ground right now, it is surrounded by feces, yani mavi.
A history that could have been documented, a history that could have been told, would just be lost. And in the future, the children may never know what once was. They may not even be able to know where their parents were from, or what they spoke, or the language they spoke.